So now that I've had each barrel in the ground, in its place, sitting at the proper level and leveled and all that, I'm now taking them out so I can install the sanitary tees on both sides of each barrel. Because what I'll do is once I put the sanitary tees in each barrel, I'll put them back in the positions where they're going to go. Then I will actually put in the 3-inch plumbing that will go between each barrel so that I have the proper fall from one barrel to the next. Then I will go ahead and get those glued in. Because I'm not gluing everything right now, I'm going to glue them once I get everything together to make sure everything fits, because if I go ahead and glue them now, I won't be able to take anything out if it's in the wrong place or anything, and this is not something I want to have to do twice. So I'm trying to take my time, do things right. So once I get everything at the right level, I'll go ahead and have everything glued in with the ABS or the PVC glue. Then I'll put some caulking around each one, because I don't want any of these pipes to leak, because I want everything to go out the leach line. Don't want any other wet spots before I get about 5 or 6 feet from the last one, because you may be able to see on the leach line, I think I went out about 5 feet or so before I start drilling the holes in the bottom so that all the liquids will go out to the bottom. So now you can see that I have the barrels back in the ground. Now I'm going to actually start doing a little digging for the leach line, because I didn't do anything to that up until this point because I wasn't sure how everything was going to work. Didn't want to take more dirt out, and it might have been too much. So just checking everything out to make sure that it's good so that I can get everything straight and level again. Then, as I said, I'll deal with the leach line. I know I have to dig a little trench that's a little bit deeper for the leach line so that I can get the correct fall for that. Then I'll get some dirt in there, and of course I'll make sure that nothing moves, put some dirt underneath the 3-inch pipes that are connecting each barrel, and put duct tape around everything once again, because it's not quite dry yet. So I'm putting duct tape around it so that if I happen to get dirt too close to it or press it in, it won't move very much, because this silicone does need a little bit of time to dry. So that's what's happening here. So then once I get all that done, I'm going to go ahead and start working on the leach line. And of course I have to put tape on the 3rd barrel so that I don't get dirt in that, because that's not the thing I want to do, because I only want stuff coming out from the toilet to go in here, and I don't want anything to get filled too quickly. So now that all that's done, as you can see, I'm working on the area for the leach line so that I can get a correct fall on that. And once all that happens, then I go back and start putting some dirt around the barrels to get those locked in so that they don't move. And then I can slowly but surely fill this whole thing up. Once I get dirt around all 3 barrels where I know they won't move, get some underneath my 3-inch plumbing that connects them together, then I can start dealing with the leach line, get that happening, and from there we can keep going. And of course this whole job is taking a little while because it's a lot of work. So I'm not trying to rush it, because as I said earlier, I only want to do this one time. That's the magic number here, is one time. So I can take as much time as I need so that I don't kill myself and burn myself out, because as you can see here, there's a whole lot of dirt that I'm going to have to put back in. And of course right now it has to go in strategically, because I don't want these barrels to move. And as I put it in, I have to take my little makeshift tamper and try and make sure that everything is pretty solid in there as far as them being tight, so that they won't move, because that's the thing I'm worrying about now, because I won't be here very long, so I don't want them to move. So as it stands, this is my septic system. Right here is where the trench stops right at the house. I'll have to dig that a little bit more by hand underneath where the pipe from the toilet comes out for the drain. And as I pan this way, you will see 3 barrels that I have partially covered or filled in on the sides. I wanted to do that so they wouldn't move, and in case we had rain, they wouldn't get disturbed. So here you have some of the plumbing that will actually go into the tank. I believe this one is going from, this one here is going from the 2nd barrel to the 3rd barrel, and it'll be on the inside, and I'll add another piece of pipe to connect them. This pipe here is in, but it's not fully glued. I just have it in there for sizing. This one here is not quite there yet either, so I'll put that in because I wanted to cover everything up to make sure that no dirt gets inside. Now, as you can see from the tops of all 3 barrels, I have a little slit cut out in the top of all 3. I've decided to leave those because I think I want to monitor this system over the years. So if things work out the way that I want, I will build some kind of a housing around the 3 of these so that I can open them and access them to make sure that everything is doing what it's supposed to do. So as we travel further out from the house, we have the 3rd tank here, and that right there is covered, of course, because again, I didn't want to get any dirt in it while I was trying to fill around it. So that's the last barrel. So from that barrel, this is the leach line that's going out about 20 feet. And this is half of the leach line drain. As you can see, there are holes in this pipe here that's going to be connected to the 3rd tank, and it'll actually get wrapped also with some fabric so that these roots won't get in. Over here you'll see where I cut up a bunch of roots. I probably shouldn't have put them there, but I was just throwing them out of the way. I'll have to move that because all of that dirt goes back into the hole, because all of these little roots here was going across. So once I put in my leach line and all the water from the septic will come out and it would run along here. So that's going to be a perfect invitation for these small roots to go out and find water to feed the trees or whatever that's growing around here that they belong to. So that's why I'm going to wrap this in some fabric to make sure that these roots are not able to get in, or at least make it difficult for them to get in when this thing is covered over. So I think by the time I leave here this time, most of this hole will be closed, but the tops of the barrel probably won't be, because I'm going to have to do a little research and finding something that I can actually build up on top of these so that they're level with the ground, so I'll be able to go back in and check the system and make sure it's doing what it's supposed to be doing, and if necessary I can get it pumped out, or something that's providing someone with a pumping truck would want to come back here to do that. I'm not in the most accessible area, especially since I have to come along a mile road to get out here, and it's not the best road, but it's passable. So if anyone with a truck wanted to come out here to pump it out for me, that would be a good thing if it becomes necessary. But since this is my first time, I wanted to make sure that it's working. Or actually, I should say this is my first time doing a septic system, and I'm looking at a lot of different YouTubes on videos to see how people are doing it, see if I can do the same or make it a little different, and just kind of make it work for me. And I think that's basically what YouTube is for. At least that's what it's for me. I'm just seeing what information I can gather and alter it or use it the same to make it work for me. So that's what we have. So I'm going to start digging out more of this leach field area here so that I get a good angle or a good drop on the drain line so that everything flows the way it's supposed to. Fortunately, the earth is sloping away from the house, and as these barrels are in, they are actually just a little bit shorter than each other, or they drop off just a bit from each other, so that's a good thing. So that's what we have, and I am going to stop this recording and get back to it because I want to try and have most of this stuff done today. I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut some plastic to put over the tops and just tape it down because I need to make sure I get dirt on all sides of these so that they won't move at all. So that's going to be it. So we'll see you guys on the next video.